What's up? It's Infinity Groudon. It is officially Reg G. It's been Reg G for a few days now. Just a lot of stuff has come up that has prevented me from doing my Master Ball climb. Honestly, yeah. I got home from work, recorded the last video, went to sleep, felt great, and I woke up at 4 a.m. with what I'm pretty sure is norovirus. It's been going around in my state. So felt really shitty for the next couple of days. But, it wasn't as bad as, the previous time I had it last year, so, I honestly got over it kind of quick, and, that was that. It was unpleasant, and then I was feeling good enough by Tuesday to go and actually buy a new tuba. For those who don't know, I am a full-time tuba student. It's winter break, obviously, right now, so I'm not really playing much tuba, but I am a tuba student, so went and got a new one, which was awesome. So yeah, it's Reg H now, so I'm just gonna put my Calyrex team together, hopefully do my Master Ball climb pretty fast. And yeah. I guess this just preamble, grabbing my Calyrex out of Pokemon Shield. Oh, I didn't move it to Violet. Wow, okay. That's cool. But yeah, I think this team is pretty awesome. It looks more standard than it is. There are some pretty wacky techs on it. There's things I would change if it was more of a best of 3 OTS sort of setting, but we'll get into that once I actually show you guys the team. But I think it's a lot of fun, even if there are certain complexities to it that seem counterintuitive at first. And sometimes they do sort of screw me over, but for the most part, I don't know, I think the team works really well, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, we're gonna grab our Calyrex here, put him into my Violet game. My boxes are kind of a mess in Violet right now. Just because I've been helping a friend get some Pokemon for Reg G, because he actually competes, so he needs good mons, and I help him out with that, so yeah. Alright, now we can go to Violet. Sorry for these long stretches of silence. I'm thinking of stuff to say, but I can't really find anything to say. So, I'm gonna shut my window. There. Thrilling content. Alright. Grab my Calyrex. Alright. Reigns of Unity. Alright. Here he goes. Do I have PP ups? I do. Awesome. Alright. So you probably notice Hyper Beam in this thing's moveset. That's not a mistake or a move that I just had on it that I got to get rid of. No, it's fully intended to be on there. This is Hyper Beam Calyrex, underrated as heck. And this item is Life Orb. Yeah, Terra Normal Hyper Beam Calyrex gets you out of really tough situations. Granted, it doesn't miss, which, like, my showdown testing with this team misses all the time, but, you know, when it does hit, it's the coolest thing ever. So I'm just gonna take my Reg H guys out of the boxes here. Alright. Yeah, so the first guy is Calyrex. He's like the main offensive threat on the team. You know, Life Orb, Expanding Force, Hyper Beam, Protect, Astral Barrage probably tips you off that there is an Indeedee on this team. It is like Psychic Terrain based. So yeah, just basically, besides Hyper Beam, it is your standard Calyrex, just max speed, max special attack, wanting to do as much damage as humanly possible. This is the Indeedee that goes with it. Follow Me, Dazzle, Helping Hand, Trick Room with Rocky Helmet for Urshifu Rapid Strike. This team does have a bit of a rough matchup against Scarf Urshifu, so having it take like almost half from Rocky Helmet recoil is really nice. Okay, who else? There's also Blood Moon Ursaluna. Good synergy with Trick Room, even though this is like more of a soft Trick Room team. Trick Room is like kind of a last resort, just if the speed tiers are not going my way. Mr. Grizz, since Calyrex already has the Life Orb, this is just an AV set. Vacuum Wave, a little weird on a Psychic Terrain team, I will admit, but you know, you rarely see yourself clicking it, in all honesty. This Ursaluna probably comes to the fewest amount of battles. But you know, if it's positioned correctly to get a Vacuum Wave off, it is much appreciated. Really unexpected too, because, you know, most Ursaluna just don't have it, I guess. They are not AV sets, they're like running Protect, but, you know, if my opponent's paying attention, they'll be keyed into the fact that Calyrex has the Life Orb already, so there's probably something different going on with this Ursaluna. But yeah, then just Incineroar, standard Reg G Incineroar set with Will-O-Wisp for those Calyrex Ice and knockoff as well. And then Weezing. Weezing is a fantastic partner for Calyrex. Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Protect, also supportive moveset there. Terra Steel to help with the Zacian and Zamazenta matchup. Weezing is pretty much a must-bring against Zamazenta, both to burn it and to taunt it so it can't get Wide Guard off. Wide Guard is a massive pain in my side, especially when with Indeedee on the team, Calyrex is going to have spread moves basically be almost its only options. So that's great. And Iron Valiant, I put this Iron Valiant on this team before it was a Worlds finalist, so honestly I knew the power of Iron Valiant from the beginning. This is a strange set for it though. I'm aware Spirit Break is like probably the only standard move that's on this thing. It's a more offensively oriented Iron Valiant, and this is what I would change if it was like a best of 3 setting, like OTS. I absolutely would have Wide Guard on this thing. Honestly, even for best of 1, I think Wide Guard would probably be better than Shadow Sneak on this thing. But, you know, the surprise factor is there when you're just fighting on ladder, and sometimes it's just more fun and nicer to have that priority option. So, yeah, Shadow Sneak. Close combat for Incineroar. As you can see, we really do not have a great way to deal with Incineroar outside of that. I mean, Ursaluna is probably our best bet, but, you know, outslowing Incineroar, not a great place to be in. Also, of note about this Ursaluna, its speed IV is so that it's 1 point faster than min speed. So, since this is like a softer Trick Room team, we're not going to be outspeeding Ursalunas in like hard Trick Room. But like outside of Trick Room, we will outspeed them, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, and then just Protect, because honestly, between Iron Valiant, the Wheezing, and Calyrex, those are our only protectors, and I just think it's good for like stalling out Trick Room purposes and different stuff like that. It's just good to have at least a handful of mons to protect. But yeah, there are definitely other options for Iron Valiant, like Icy Wind for supports, or of course Wide Guard. So yeah, there's definitely other things this guy could run, but for what it's worth, I do think he really puts in work. So that's great. Let me just reorganize the team a little bit to how I'm used to from Reg G's past. I think Wheezing actually goes up here. And then you... yeah, just like this. Okay, so we're finally gonna get into it. I have not touched the Reg G ladder so far. As I've been saying, I've been just really busy with getting sick and then getting a tuba. But we are all ready to go now. The new season has started. There's a rather unimpressive rank from last time, but it doesn't matter. We get the same prizes. Really nice that they're giving out Apra bowls now. The 2 friend bowls are really nice. Alright. So if everything goes our way, it will only take 4 battles to get back up to Master Ball, but if we do have some losses along the way, that's that, and we will go a little longer. My Switch's battery might get kind of low, so hopefully we can get this done pretty quick. The first one, pretty standard looking Calyrex team. I think I want to go with the Valiant Calyrex lead. No, Indeedee tells me they probably don't have Expanding Force, so the Terra Normal is going to be more safe. If they have like a single target psychic move like Psychic or Psyshock, we can bring Indeedee for the redirection, also to help versus Rillaboom. And for the last, I want to go with the Wheezing, just to prevent Rillaboom's Grassy Surge from coming back in after I have my Indeedee up. Also to turn off Unseen Fist, so I can safely protect with the slot next to Wheezing and get Urshifu burned, and just all sorts of other cool stuff. Incineroar I could also see here, just because of that Calyrex, but it's threatened by so much on my opponent's team between that Urshifu and the Ogerpon and the Landorus. It could also be Urshifu Dark, like very reasonably be Urshifu Dark because of that Wellspring Ogerpon. But yeah, we do have ways around that too. Most likely switching in Wheezing for our Calyrex if that does end up being the case. But yeah, I think I'm comfortable with these 4, and let's get into the first battle of Reg G Mark II. So let's just see how it goes here. Alright, there's the Rillaboom lead. It is the Rapid Strike. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to play this turn 1 super crazy or anything. I am going to switch out Calyrex for that Indeedee to avoid Fake Out. And also if they want to Surging Strikes into the Calyrex and get rid of it right away, they can get punished with some Rocky Helmet damage. I really want to preserve the Terra for my Calyrex just because of their Calyrex. If I Terrastalize Iron Valiant for that extra Spirit Break damage, I could just regret that later with an Astral Barrage to the face. So I am just going to go for the raw Spirit Break into Urshifu, try to get some chip damage on it, also hopefully reveal its item. If it decides to detect or not, that is. So Indeedee gonna come in, take out the grassy terrain, which is great. No Fake Out pressure from my opponent. Let's see. Okay, they do go for the Terra right away, which is great information. I'm expecting Terra Water Urshifu. Probably Surging Strikes into the Indeedee, I would hope. So maybe Spirit Break can do enough to either get it down very low or just take it out after that Rocky Helmet chip, assuming that's what they're going to do. We see the Fake Out from Rillaboom. Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. Our Booster Energy makes us faster. Alright, looks like 40%. And okay, here's the Surging Strikes. It is going to be into Indeedee, okay. Looks like it's not going to go down though, but we are still in a great position with Iron Valiant. Indeedee going to live at 7, which is fantastic. I could see Urshifu getting withdrawn, but my opponent honestly does not have a great switch into Iron Valiant here. I want to preserve Indeedee, definitely. The unfortunate thing is, if I bring in Weezing, I do lose my booster energy temporarily. It is sometimes nice to choose when to get to activate it and when to turn it off, but in other cases it does sort of hinder my Iron Valiant. But in this case, I don't want to bring Calyrex in raw, so to eat a potential Wood Hammer or something from that Rillaboom, so I am gonna actually send in Weezing. As they withdraw Urshifu, which is pretty good. We get to go down to -1, unfortunately, from that Intimidate. But we still get some nice chip on Incineroar. We also get to preserve Indeedee. I'm expecting a U-turn from Rillaboom, to be honest. In comes Weezing. Spirit Brick should do only around like 20%. Looks like even less than that. Still appreciated chip though. And there is the U-turn. I'm expecting Calyrex here. I wouldn't think they would want to bring in Urshifu when they know that I can outspeed it with my Valiant if I choose to switch out Weezing. Yep, it is going to be Calyrex. Alright, I am going to go back into Indeedee, hopefully to be immune to that Astral Barrage coming out. Or they could be afraid of Wide Guard as well and just Psychic into my Iron Valiant. I also want my Speed Boost back so I can get a little bit of Last Ditch damage off. So I'm going to just Close Combat into this Incineroar and just try to get as much damage on as possible here. Unfortunately, that does make Intimidate go off again, so we are at -2. We aren't going to be doing a lot, but if we're just in a position where we can get it low enough for an Astral Barrage or two to take it out, then I'm not going to complain, as it does look to be in pretty low range now. Let's see if it's a Citrus Berry variant. Okay, it luckily isn't. The Nasty Plot is going to be rough, though. Is it going to be Will-O-Wisp? Okay, Parting Shot from Incineroar. Probably Rillaboom coming back in then, which is not what I'd like to see. Lots of mind games so far in this game, I would say, but I like that I have Calyrex preserved in the back. It is just going to be scary to deal with theirs at +2 here. Alright, so I could definitely see a Fake Out into Iron Valiant, and their Calyrex doing something, maybe setting up a second Nasty Plot. But I think I want to get my Calyrex in here as soon as possible. So I'm going to go hard Weezing here and Protect. Alternatively, I could let Indeedee go down. Not super comfortable with that, but it might be what I have to do. But yeah, I'm going to go into Weezing and Protect here. This is also where Shadow Sneak might come in. We'll just have to see. They might also U-turn with that Rillaboom again to get Incineroar in and keep the Fake Out pressure. But being able to reset the Psychic Terrain is good for me in that case. Alright, there's the Astral Barrage. Should be a dead Weezing here. Yeah. Alright. Whiffing the U-turn is really good. It kind of stops their momentum. Now Calyrex is going to come back in. And I could definitely see their Calyrex protect and Rillaboom try to get out of here. But I want to play it kind of safe. I am just going to protect and just... I'll Spirit Break their Calyrex just because I don't think it would be substantial enough on Rillaboom to really be worth it. Whereas with Calyrex, if in the event that they don't protect, I could break their Sash or something. But honestly, I'm just scouting for their Terra type here. Okay, as they don't Terra, we'll see if they protect. Okay. Alright, they revealed not to be Covert Cloak, and Astral Barrage is unfortunately going to take out my Iron Valiant. I would have been in a fantastic position if I had Terra'd there, and gone on the offensive, so that is going to be unfortunate. But we are down to our last two. Indeed does not have a lot of juice left, so we are going to have to play our cards right. Alright, they're not Life Orb either. My next guess would probably be Sash, but not sure. Alright, so now I am honestly just going to go on the offensive here. Terra Normal Expanding Force, expecting their Terra, or Protect, and just Helping Hand, and just see how it goes. Terra Normal to avoid the Astral Barrage here. No switch out on Rillaboom is great because with Helping Hand, we should either bring it very low or just get the KO. No Terra, sadly. So Astral Barrage was probably the better play there. Okay, no, they do Protect. I'm sorry. Helping Hand going before Protect always trips me up. Alright, so we'll see this Expanding Force damage. Alright, Rillaboom is unfortunately going to live. Probably mean a U-turn. But on the bright side, I think, yeah, Rocky Helmet damage is going to take it out. So, unfortunately though, I think this means this is going to be a loss because they were definitely playing their Urshifu like it was Scarf. And if it is Scarf, it can just come in and close combat me. Or Surging Strikes, honestly, since I'm not running any bulk. Surging Strikes with Terra Water should just take me out as well. But yeah, this was a great game to start things off on. Very scary and positioning heavy and such. They did choose to go Incineroar first, though. I'm just going to Astral Barrage at this point. I'm not expecting to win, based on just how they were playing with Urshifu. But on the off chance that, you know, it isn't, it is not the Scarf. Okay. That Terra Blast at +2 does so much, I'm actually just going to take out myself from Life Orb, I believe. So, all that theory crafting for nothing. GG's. It was due to a speed tie, but honestly, a lot of games with Calyrex Shadow mirrors go down to speed ties, so complaining about them is honestly not really worth it. If you lose like a million speed ties in a row, then it's warranted, but honestly, like, you know, if that's your only out, which in my case, it has been my only out a lot of the time, if you don't get it, don't complain about it. It's a 50-50, so what are you gonna do? And of course, it wouldn't have mattered if the Urshifu was Scarf like I'm predicting it was. But, yeah. That's just how games go sometimes, and we're on to the next one. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to find opponents. We're only a few days into the ladder, so there should be a good amount of people who still haven't bothered to do their climb. So I'm not too worried. But our next opponent is going to be Kara, or Kara, I'm not entirely sure, with a pretty hard Trick Room looking squad here. So this is the sort of game I like to lead Wheezing Valiant into, to get taunts. Obviously, Valiant with its offensive pressure against that Incineroar, against Grimmsnarl, maybe even Ursaluna, though I doubt they'll want to lead that. And then Incineroar in the back, and Calyrex in the back as well. Incineroar, obviously, for its good matchup into Calyrex Ice Rider, Caly Shadow, because if you don't bring your Caly Shadow to a Reg G match, you're honestly throwing. That's just how it goes. Now, in my personal opinion, Calyrex Ice is the best restricted in the game. I know it's no Worlds winner, it wasn't a Worlds finalist. The Worlds finalists were obviously Miraidon, you know, Luca with Miraidon, who became the world champion last August, and then obviously Calyrex Shadow. But yeah, in my opinion, Calyrex Ice, just super hard to stop if you're not prepared for it. Just super reliable, the perfect bulk in offense, just absolute monster. So, I don't know, if you'd ask me, I'd say it's the best restricted. Not my favorite restricted, I've honestly never really used it. I'm a Calyrex Shadow fan through and through, but yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Alright, nice Slowbro trainer card on my opponent's end, and we're gonna get into it. Alright, Slowbro Ursa lead. Fun thing is that neutralizing gas shuts off Guts, and it also shuts off Oblivious, so I can absolutely taunt this Slowbro here. And I'd expect to protect from the Ursaluna, but I honestly just want to close combat anyway, maybe take them by surprise, because, you know, if you're my opponent, this lead doesn't look that offensive. But Iron Valiant, this one at least, can't really pack a punch. So yeah, no protect, they would just go through the close combat, should actually just take them out. Okay, I was expecting like 80%, but that's a great KO to have right off the bat. And we should get this taunt off through Oblivious. At least I think Slowbro gets Oblivious. I know Slowking does. Should... Oh, they just go for the Psychic. Okay. So this should be great damage into Wheezing. Okay, we're gonna eat our Citrus Berry. Alright, good start for us, but there is that Calyrex, that ever-present Calyrex threat to worry about. Gonna be Grimmsnarl next, though. It's perfectly fine by me. Neutralizing gas shuts off Prankster. I'm just gonna protect to keep Wheezing around. Neither of my other mons really are in a good position to really want a Terra here, so I'm just gonna Spirit Break with the Terra Fairy. Also, Terra Fairy makes me makes me take neutral damage from psychic moves, so we'll probably be able to eat a hit from Slowbro if it does decide to target Valiant. But honestly, Wheezing is the MVP this game so far, shutting off 3 crucial abilities. This Protect is going to be good to keep it around. See what Grimmsnarl wants to do. Alright, no Fake Out. This should take it very low or just take it out. Alright, Valiant gets his second KO. And what is Slowbro going to do here? Alright, Psychic into Wheezing's Protect, it looks like. That's good, we keep Wheezing around for this Calyrex. It's tough between whether I want to taunt it or burn it. Obviously, burning it is like a riskier solution because so many Calyrex are Terra Fire. But at the same time, it is a more permanent answer to it. Just neutralizing that damage for the rest of the game, whereas Taunt would only prevent it from getting Trick Room up for a few turns. But I am going to go for the Will-O-Wisp just because I haven't revealed it yet. My Iron Valiant is kind of free to do whatever it wants here. And to be completely honest with you, I'm just going to switch out into Incineroar. I just think Incineroar is up to way much more. It can knock off for super effective damage on both of these Pokemon. In the rare event, this isn't Clear Amulet Calyrex. I can also get an attack drop. It is going to be the Clear Amulet, though. No worries. Alright, Will-O-Wisp be successful. If it's not, I was going to say if it's not Lumberry Calyrex, but it just revealed Clear Amulet to me. So, the only revelation there is that I need to wake up. Alright, that's going to be the end of Wheezing. He did fantastic this game, though, so I'm not going to complain. And Calyrex. Okay, gonna go for the Trick Room. Fine by me. Here I'm gonna go to my own Calyrex, just because I have Fake Out Pressure now. I can either get them to protect both their mons in solo turn, or they'll have to eat an Astral Barrage with something. Obviously could be Terra Normal on that Calyrex, but you know, you're still losing a turn of Trick Room either way. Just gonna Fake Out the Slowbro here, since it's honestly the bigger threat. Burn Calyrex. Not gonna be doing a ton of damage, luckily. And they just forfeit the battle. Okay, so that went a lot smoother than last game for me. GG's. Up to a 1-1 record. So yeah, that's the power of the Wheezing Iron Valiant lead. It seems like super innocuous. Innocuous? Yeah, I think that's the word, innocuous at first. But it actually can do some severe damage if you don't know what to expect from it, which a lot of the time my opponents won't, because I'm running weird moves, weird Terra types, kind of weird everything on there. So we got a Miraidon team now, and this team does generally well with the combination of Wheezing and Indeedee. Incineroar obviously always throwing a wrench in things, but that's just how it's going to go. I actually don't want to lead Indeedee right away, just because of the existence of that Iron Valiant. It can wide guard, so I'm going to lead Iron Valiant again with these two in the back, similar to game 1, but I just feel like I'll have the right Pokemon in the back to switch in for really any scenario. If they lead Miraidon, I can send in Indeedee to cancel that electric terrain. If Incineroar comes in, I can also send in Indeedee. If they lead, like, I don't know, I guess I cover kind of all the bases with this sort of lead. Alright, so we see the Iron Valiant Ogerpon lead from my opponent. I lead my own Valiant. Let's see here. I am afraid of this Ogerpon, and no Quark Drive makes sense on a Miraidon team, but it does tip me off to the fact that it is probably going to be the Sash on the Iron Valiant. I'm going to go ahead and protect Calyrex, send a Spirit Break into their Iron Valiant. They do go for the Terra, probably the Ogerpon. Yep, so that Spit F boost is definitely going to be scary. Hoping they don't really find my Valiant that threatening yet. So I can get a big hit into it on the physical side, that Ogerpon. So Protect comes off, we'll see. Okay, no Protect from them, which is nice. Spirit Break should take them down pretty low, as it does look like they are going down to Sash. They go for their own Spirit Break into my Protect, which is fantastic. Let's see what Ogerpon wants to do. Okay, the Ivy Cudgel, unfortunately, into Valiant. Maybe we can hang on. I honestly doubt it. Yeah. Crit, I don't think it mattered. I am running a little bit of bulk on it, but nothing too substantial. Here I'm going to go for the Wheezing. Now, in case of Wide Guard, I am just going to single target this Iron Valiant with Expanding Force here. Hope I can live an Ivy Cudgel. I should be able to, but you never know. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp as well here. Yep, there is the Wide Guard. Glad I single targeted. Alright, there's the communicating in the top left. It tells me nothing else is going to go down. Alright, this should leave me with only 1 or 2 more Life Orb hits. Yeah, I do. It looks like it is going to be 2. Willow's whiff really is unfortunate, but honestly, anything will take out this Calyrex at this point, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, Incineroar comes in. That's not great to see. But I think I just want to protect here and send in Indeedee for the redirection. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. That's funny that it does that. It lowers the attack of the Pokemon that's already been withdrawn. Neutralizing Gas just has so many weird interactions like that. Alright, hopefully Indeedee doesn't take a ton of damage on switch in. They did go for the Fake Out, which is nice. And the Ivy Cudgel into Protect. Okay, so that's pretty great. The only unfortunate part is that I don't think Astral Barrage is going to pick up the OHKO on either of these Pokemon. I am going to go for it, but honestly, I doubt it'll be enough, and then we obviously need to hit Miraidon with it. Okay, as we actually see the withdrawal of Ogerpon into the Miraidon. So this is going to be a nice hit here, but they were probably expecting Expanding Force or something like that. I wanted to switch it to a single target, but I am just going to go for the Astral Barrage. Alright, OHKO on Miraidon is super nice. If I played this right, I think I might have just witnessed a bit of a throw on my opponent's end. But if they were predicting the knockoff, it totally is understandable. Okay, crit knockoff on Indeedee is not great. I think I might have said knockoff earlier. I meant Expanding Force. I don't know. Alright. Wheezing comes in. And actually that might work in my favor because I do shut off the Spit F boost, which is actually super nice. So here I think they might want a Spiky Shield, because I go down to one more Life Orb hit, and if it goes into Incineroar, but not the Ogerpon, it'll be a 1v1, you know, Wheezing versus Ogerpon, and that's something Ogerpon can pretty easily win. So I'm just going to go for the Protect and the Sludge Bomb into Incineroar, and hopefully I got this call right. Okay, just the Ivy Cudgel, actually. So hopefully this can poison, as it doesn't. It's a great play on my opponent's end, but I think I can still get out of it. We did reveal that Wheezing either speed ties Incineroar or is faster than it, so I can just Expanding Force, guarantee the single target into that Ogerpon, and get a Sludge Bomb off into this Incineroar, so if they do choose to Spiky Shield, which they don't, I don't go down to Life Orb Recoil in vain. So they might not carry it, they might be like a Swords Dance variant or something. But we do get the KO on the Ogerpon here, and this should be a narrow victory. I think sacking off Miraidon, either they didn't expect to have it go down, or they just misplayed by sacking it off there. Oh, it actually feels to be very instant. So we still should have this game pretty much in the bag. As they do go for the Flare Blitz. Yeah, not dealing a ton of damage at all. Living on a sliver of health, though. There is the off chance that they like speed tie and crit or something. But yeah, we are just going to outspeed and take them out. So, really good game. That was a really close one. I definitely think my opponent honestly should have won there. If they just played with their Miraidon a little better. But that is going to take us up to Ultra Ball, which is a bit more secure. If we do end up losing a lot more games, we won't go down in rank, which is really nice. Alright, 20,000 league points. I honestly have a lot of league points saved up right now. After I built my Crocodile team, I took a step back from team building and just training up Pokemon in general, so I have a lot of resources stashed up, so that's pretty cool. This is a scary looking team, honestly. Another Psy-Spam squad with Chi-Yu. This team has a rough time with Chi-Yu, especially if we can't outspeed it, and that is indeed a Whimsicott, so I don't think we're going to be outspeeding Chi-Yu much at all. But I'm just going to lead what I've been leading, honestly. If they do lead the Whimsicott, I can send in Weezing to shut off its Prankster and deal some big damage with Calyrex. We could also see the Chi-Yu lead, in which case my Iron Valiant will hopefully be able to deal with it, and then just Indeedee in the back to have some say over whether Psychic Terrain comes off. Obviously they have their own Indeedee, but, you know, they could always just not bring it, or, you know, something like that. So it's just nice to have that, and also the Follow Me redirection, especially with that Urshifu and the Ogerpon on my opponent's side. So yeah. This Calyrex definitely has Expanding Force, though. As we see the Psychic Terrain, my opponent is probably wanting to take advantage of that. So yeah, we'll just see how this battle goes. Another Calyrex Shadow Mirror. Just a generally tough matchup, as I said earlier. A lot of the time it comes down to speed ties, which is unfortunate. Alright, so I would have liked to have led Indeedee for this game, just immediately getting off redirection initiative, but they probably do fear the Wide Guard here, so that's another thing I like to do with Iron Valiant. Even though we do not carry Wide Guard, which we probably should, we are still able to bluff it just by having an Iron Valiant on the field, which is very nice. But I want to get Calyrex out of here. I definitely want to go into my own Indeedee. I definitely think they could target it down here with that Urshifu. And I'm very tempted, or I guess very torn about who to target here. But I think I'm going to hit Indeedee. Yeah, I think I'm going to hit Indeedee. Because I can still burn that Urshifu with Weezing or something like that. And especially if it targets Calyrex, it is going to be chipped from Rocky Helmet. So yeah, and Indeedee Male can carry all sorts of weird things, like Shadow Ball, Trick Room, just stuff that other Calyrex Shadow players won't see coming and just be totally blindsided by. They're going to Terra here, Urshifu again, into Terra Water? No, Terra Poison, okay. In that case, I'm very, very glad I didn't target it, because Spirit Break or Close Combat would not have done much of anything. Into Indeedee, though, looks like it's going to be Focus Sash. Yep. So we could definitely just lose Iron Valiant here, but the free switch into Calyrex I wouldn't really complain about. Yep. Also, them sort of wasting, not wasting per se, but using up their Terra on Urshifu right away is also going to be very good for our own Calyrex. Ooh, that definitely looks like Choice Band Urshifu. Okay, we're down to our last two Mons on turn 1. Not great, but we are in a pretty decent position with our own Calyrex, at least, as we do know that it's going to outspeed both my opponent's Pokemon, as their items are pretty much revealed, the Choice Band and the Focus Sash. They could switch into Incineroar, but we do have our Terra on Calyrex, which is great. Oh, they don't have Incineroar. I think I was thinking of Chi-Yu, which they almost certainly did bring, but, you know, if they want to switch it in, they're going to have to eat a Sludge Bomb. I'm kind of forced to Expanding Force here because I want to hit this Indeedee, as Calyrex is actually just going to take both KOs, which is nice. I am still scared of this Chi-Yu, though, because if Urshifu isn't Choice Scarf, Chi-Yu almost certainly is. You know, Chi-Yu's two most common items, Choice Scarf and Focus Sash. We saw Indeedee had Sash already. Almost certainly going to be Scarf Chi-Yu here, and it can't just overheat my Calyrex and either deal massive damage or just KO it outright, so I probably want to take a more passive turn here to see what it locks into. It could just be, I guess, overly greedy or overly hasty and just lock into Snarl or Dark Pulse without thinking. Oh, they actually bring the Whimsicott, and yeah, it is going to be the Chi-Yu. So this makes things a little bit more difficult. Obviously, if I take a passive turn with this Whimsicott here, I would just give it the opportunity to set up Tailwind or something, or Sunny Day even. So a bit of a change of a game plan here. I'm just going to Terra and go on the offensive, and whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to Sludge Bomb into this Chi-Yu, Terra, Astral Barrage, and hope I don't get overheated in the face. We're just going to have to see here. So interestingly, we actually see my opponent not bringing their Calyrex. Definitely explains why they opted to Terrasilize Urshifu earlier, though. It's because they didn't really have a Calyrex to save their Terra for. So we are going to outspeed Chi-Yu. That's a big surprise to me. My next guess would probably be that it's Life Orb or something like that. It does tank the +2 Astral Barrage, though, so it is going to be a much bulkier Chi-Yu than normal. But I don't think it's going to be able to live this Sludge Bomb from my Wheezing. Granted that we live. The Overheat is going to go into Calyrex and take it out, so yeah, actually very, very lucky there that it was not Scarf Chi-Yu. But Wheezing should be able to clean up this game now. So I did play quite risky there, but it did end up paying off in this case. So very interesting team on my opponent's end. Very interesting item choice in particular with that Choice Band Urshifu. Yeah, almost never see it coming, but it packs such a punch, man. I was fully expecting Indeedee to live. I was like, Terra Poison, okay. The Surging Strikes isn't going to do too much then, but Indeedee just dropped, which is crazy. On to the next game. Alright, Jaden. Let's see what they've got. A Groudon team, okay. Another team that Wheezing is spectacular in, shutting off Farigiraf's ability, Whimsicott I think is going to be the biggest one here. But of course I do not like seeing both Typhlosion and Chi-Yu, both potential Scarfers, just immediately threatening pressure there. So my leads are a bit tough to decide. I could, like, the most tempting is probably, you know, the Calyrex Indeedee, but then if they lead Typhlosion, they can just outspeed me, which is really tough. I think I'm going to lead it anyway. And then Incineroar is also really tempting to have in the back. But I think I want to go these two again. Just having Iron Valiant there for the speed control. This could totally end up backfiring on me super hard. It all depends on like what the items are on this Typhlosion, and Chi-Yu is a pretty rough matchup. Especially with that Chi-Yu. But we are just going to see. Alright, gonna be the Farigiraf Typhlosion lead. I do like seeing the lack of sun, but they could always just switch in this Groudon. So I think I want to go Wheezing right away to prevent that possibility. And they could also Foul Play with Farigiraf. That would absolutely be very scary, but at the same time, I do kind of want to preserve my Terra. But, you know, there isn't really anything that Terrastalizing Wheezing or Iron Valiant would help. Obviously, I have a Terra Steel Weezing. Steel is not a great matchup into a team like this, and obviously if I'm going to be sending any attacks for it, I think I'm going to be close combating with Iron Valiant, so I am just going to go for the safe Terra and Expanding Force here. And yeah, also if it is Scarf Typhlosion, it could just go for the Shadow Ball, though I would honestly want to go for the option just because of the possibility of Follow Me. But leading Farigiraf next to it makes me think that it might be Specs or like more Trick Room oriented. So we're just gonna see what these Pokemon end up doing here. I do want to get off one Hyper Beam in this video. I don't know if we will, because we're running a little long. Alright, it is going to Protect, unfortunately, so probably going to be a Trick Room coming off here. Almost half of that Expanding Force, great damage. I'm going to see the Trick Room. Oh, the Foul Play, actually. Okay, glad I tarried. Glad I tarried. Oh, console battery low. Okay, I think this will have to be the last battle then. I'm going to pick my moves kind of fast. With the Protect, we could see Sash Typhlosion. Okay, it's going to be withdrawn, actually. Nothing is going to really like... Okay, Chi-Yu will like taking Expanding Force. But yeah, hopefully my Switch does not die on me in the middle of this battle. Alright, we get a high roll versus Farigiraf. Oh, it's a crit, actually. Okay, I definitely think this is going to be Scarf Chi-Yu. Just because Typhlosion revealed Protect. Some good damage with Sludge Bomb. And Groudon comes in. Luckily no Sun getting set up. I am just going to Protect and go for the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah. I kind of want Weezing to go down here so I can get Iron Valiant in for more speed control. This might be the Terra Fire on the Groudon. Honestly, I don't really care. I just want Weezing to go down. Okay, they're actually going to Terra Chi-Yu. Okay, the Terra Fire. Very scary. Heat Wave going to do big damage. Alright, doesn't look like Specs damage though, so definitely think it could be Scarf here. Hopefully this Precipice Blades also lands on Weezing. Oh, it actually goes for the Heat Crash. Okay. Well, that's not great. Alright, Will-O-Wisp comes off. I'm just going to go for another Sludge Bomb into this Chi-Yu. We might be able to take a Heat Wave from this range. I kind of doubt it, but we're just going to go for the Expanding Force anyway. And we outspeed the Chi-Yu. Fantastic. Okay, I've got my Chi-Yu item predictions all wrong today, it looks like. But I'm not complaining. So the last is going to be that Typhlosion, already revealed Protect, so we know that we are going to be outspeeding it with Calyrex. I'm not too worried about this endgame here. I'm just going to click the buttons. And GG's. Alright, so we're one win away from Master Ball, but unfortunately, I don't want to risk my Switch dying. When I'm recording it, I can't really have it plugged in, because it's, like, propped up against, you know, it's, like, you know, lying flat against the bed, basically. Or, like, lying upright against the bed. I don't really know how to describe it, but I can't plug it in, because Nintendo's really good at design and put the plug-in on the bottom of the console. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to call it there. But overall successful video with this Calyrex team, despite a loss to start things off on. and hopefully we will be getting to Master Ball next time.